great pleasure to have all of you listening in to the 9th The Young Researchers Forum series. We begin on a very auspicious note with a rendering by Ms. Suchitra in keeping with our theme of today, Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. ஆதியும் மந்தமும் இல்லாரும் பெரும் ஆதியும் மந்தமும் இல்லாரும் பெரும் சோதியையாம் பாட கேட்டையும் வாழ்த்தடங்கண் ஆதியும் மந்தமும் இல்லாரும் பெரும் சோதியையாம் பாட கேட்டையும் வாழ்த்தடங்கள் மாதேவளருதியோ மாதேவளருதியோ பஞ்சவியோ நின் செவிதான் மாதேவன் வார்கடல்கள் வாழ்த்திய வாழ்த்தொலி போய் மாதேவன் வார்கடல்கள் வாழ்த்திய வாழ்த்தொலி போய் வீதிவாய் கேட்டலுமே விம்மி விம்மினை மறந்து வீதிவாய் கேட்டலுமே விம்மி விம்மினை மறந்து போதரமணி நின்றும் புரண்டிங்கள் போதரமணி நின்றும் புரண்டிங்கள் ஏதேனுமாக கிடந்தாள் என்னே கிடந்தாள் என்னே ஈரேயன் தோழி பரிசலோரெம்பாவாய் ஈரேயன் தோழி பரிசலோரெம்பாவாய்
After that very melodious rendition by Ms. Suchitra, it gives me great pleasure to welcome our guests today, as also all those who are listening in. A few words about the Young Researchers Forum. This is a collaborative effort by two institutions, like-minded Sahridaya institutions. One is Nrityodaya Academy of Performing Arts, Mumbai, which is led by Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan, senior most student currently of Padma Bhushan, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, and the Center of Excellence Art and Culture, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasun Jain College for Women, Chennai. This thought that we should give an opportunity to young researchers and sync them with experts who would be able to give some very valuable inputs to the presentation came almost simultaneously to both of us, Dr. Jayashree and me. And when we approached our guru, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, she was gracious enough to bless us not only for the venture, but also to give the inaugural address. And we had with us on that day, Sri Shekhar Sen, Padma Shri Awardee, chairman of Sangeet Natak Academy as well. And after that, we have had a host of very beautiful presentations by young researchers and some excellent inputs by the experts. So we are very happy and truly blessed to have great stalwarts associate themselves with us. And of course, it is a little unfortunate that today our co-host institution, that is Nrityodaya Academy of Performing Arts, is unable to join immediately because of some network issues, and we hope that they will join in soon because Dr. Jayashree, in her own inimitable style, gives a very warm welcome to the experts and researchers every time, and to all the audience members listening in. Dr. Subbalakshmi Mohan, who is our expert for today, is an amazing person, to say the least. She is a combination of scholarship and complete simplicity. And it has been a proud privilege for me to have been associated with her, I think for something close to 16, 17 years, ever since I took up the founder headship of the Natya department in affiliated institution in Chennai. So as I was mentioning to her, her biodata was so large that we found it very difficult to put it in a couple of slides, and we hope we do justice to your achievements. She is currently the Director, School of Music and Fine Arts, Vels University, the coordinator for the massive open online course in music, guide in Vels University, Tamil Nadu Music and Fine Arts University, Chennai, and Madurai Kamaraj University. She's a panel member in CCRT South Zone, New Delhi. She's a member of the selection panel at HRNCE, Sports Authority of India Music Quota, Railways Music Quota, and SRM University Tamil Perayam Awards. She has been a research fellow with the Department of Culture, HRD Ministry, New Delhi, Central Institute of Classical Tamil, and ELSI Nadagamandram, Chennai. She is the editorial board member of Chanlak's International Journals, Pranav Journal of Fine Arts. Her awards are many, to mention a few: Lifetime Achievement Award in the field of education, Chennai, Brinda Varadarajan Award, Music Academy, R.N. Sharma Award, Music Academy, Pannisai Tendral, YMHA, Sri Lanka. Among the several books that she has written, we have Muthu Tandavar Kirthanaigal, Lyrical Wonders and Musical Splendors of Sambandar, Karaikal Ammayar Padalgal, Stringed Instruments, Wind Instruments, Tamirisai Karuvulam, Tamirisai Ilakkanam, and Adal Isai Amudam, a translation of the work of Sri Dandaithupani Pillai. So it gives us great pleasure, ma'am, and honor to have you today in our midst, and we are looking forward to the very scholarly inputs that you will be giving to the young researchers' presentation. Namaskaram. We have the young researcher, Mumbai Shilpa, a dynamic young woman who is making a mark in her field. She has learned vocal music under Sri Lalgudi Jayaraman. It's a very great lineage. Initial training in music from Sri N.S. Chandrasekhara Bhagavatar, Srimati Meenakshi Narasimhan, and Srimati T.R. Balamani of Mumbai. Academically, she is qualified with BCom from Mumbai University and an M Music from the University of Madras. Her performances include in Makkal, Shankara and Podigai TV. She has performed in various prestigious sabhas in Tamil Nadu, Mumbai, Bengaluru and Hyderabad. The awards that she has received: Gana Tilakam by Shruti Geet KK Nagar, Gana Chintamani from Sri Sumukhi Rajashekharan Memorial Trust Mandavali, Big High Grade Artist from the All India Radio Chennai, National Scholarship from the Department of Culture New Delhi, GNB Endowment Prize for Vocal, Krishnagana Sabha, Gokulashtami Celebrations 2005 and 2007, Sriram Group Company's panel of young and upcoming artists, Mumbai in 2005-06 and 2006-07, selected by ELSI Nadagamandram for 2005-2006 concert series, and she has sung in Jai Jai He, an album released by Shakatapuram Swamigal. It is a matter of great happiness that we can have both Dr. Subbalakshmi Mohan and Mumbai Shilpa to be part of our 9th Young Researchers Forum, and I'm sure both of you will do justice for your presence today. My apologies for having started the session a little late due to unavoidable circumstances, and we'll start right away with a presentation by Mumbai Shilpa. Thank you.
Namaskarams to everyone. My humble pranams to Dr. Subbalakshmi ma'am, Dr. Rajshri ma'am, Jayashri ma'am, and I also would like to thank Nrityodaya Mumbai, Center of Excellence Art and Culture, Shah Sun Jain College, Chennai, for having given me this opportunity. It indeed is a great learning curve for me. I wouldn't even say I'm a researcher. I'm even more in a primitive stage. So this is a very big learning curve for me to be able to learn a small drop in the ocean. I'll just start my presentation. My topic for today is Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi. And this is just a gist of what all I may speak on. Manika Vachagar and his early works, Manika Vachagar's works, then Pavai tradition, Thirupalliezhichi, Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi of Thailand, and archaeological references. Manika Vachagar is amongst the greatest of our saints who renounced the pomp and pageantry of the world to walk humbly with God. It is a fundamental doctrine of the Saiva Siddhanta that our life is a period of preparation for ultimate communion with the Supreme. This is one of the central philosophy of the Saiva Siddhanta, that is, Shiva appears in human guise as a spiritual teacher to teach, and this could be best derived from the life of the great saint poet Manika Vachagar. Manika Vachagar took his birth in Thiruvadavur, 7 miles from Madurai, on the banks of Vaigai River. We all know that the year of his birth is still a question mark. He secured the friendship of the king of Madurai, Arimardana Pandian, and became his chief minister. He was also called Thiruvadavurar and Tennavan Brahmarayan. The central incident of Manika Vachagar's life is his sudden conversion to the service of God while he was in the prime of youth and in the plenitude of temporal power. Everybody knows the story of his sudden passage from darkness into light. He was commissioned by the king to purchase horses for royal use, and it is in that trip that his spiritual enlightenment took place at Thiruperindurai. On hearing the chant of the sacred Saiva Agamas, Manika Vachagar felt himself attracted to the point where the mystic music proceeded, and from that instance, his secular life came to an end. The young sage, after he met his guru, forgot the mission on which he had been sent and used the money given to buy the horses on Saiva Agamas and for constructing the great Thiruperindurai temple. Later, Lord Shiva saved him by sending horses to the kingdom on Avani Moolam. Next, I would like to speak a little on Manika Vachagar's works. Some of them are Thiruvasagam, Achoppathigam, Tiruchazhal Hymns, Tiruchittrambala Kovayar, Thiruvempavai, Thirupalliezhichi. It is a known fact that Thiruvasagam is a devotional work by Manika Vachagar, and Thiruvasagam written by Manika Vachagar is completely different in form and theme employed in Tirukovayar, which was also his work. The form of Kovai in Tamil literature is a later technique. So it is obvious that Manika Vachagar, being a Tamil scholar and Saiva devotee, should have produced both religious and secular works. Thiruvempavai is one part of the Thiruvasagam composed by Manika Vachagar at Thiruvannamalai. A little about Pavai tradition. The tradition of the original Pavai Nombu dates back to 160 BC, around 2000 years ago. The aim of this Nombu was originally to create a natural environment which would determine the amount of rainfall in the forthcoming season. Sounds were created by the young unmarried girls, Pani Neeradal, and this used to determine the upcoming rainfall for the next season. The Pavai tradition used to involve unmarried young girls where they would light lamps in the early mornings of Margazhi and sing songs in praise of Lord Shiva. Thiruvempavai's verses ending with Empavai signify that this is part of the Pavai tradition practiced in Tamil Nadu then. In Thiruvempavai number 9, Unnai Piranaga Petravun Seeradiyom, Unnadiyar Tal Panivom, Angavarke Pangavom, signifies how the devotee here expresses her desire to attain a true Shiva devotee as a life partner. In his book Thirupavai, Textual and Literary Critical Study, C. Jagannathachanar mentions that purpose for celebration of the Pavai tradition are twofolds. One is to bring rain when it fails, and another is to get a good husband. Thiruvempavai number 16. என்ன சீலை குலவி நந்தம் மையாளுடையான் தன்னில் பிரிவில்லார் என் கோமானன்பர்க்கு. Here the devotee prays for rains and pleads to the Almighty to accept the vow for this. Finally, over to Thirupalliezhichi. Thirupalliezhichi is the Padigam from Thiruvasagam. It is a Suprabhadam for the god of Thiruparandurai, present-day Avudiyar Koil near Pudukkottai. It is a collection of songs sung to Lord Shiva, requesting him to wake up from his divine recess to bless his devotees. It is believed that with this awakening, the entire world awakens from its recess of darkness and ignorance. His awakening signifies the awakening of the Divine Supreme within us first. Manikavasagar's spiritual brilliance and maturity can be very evident in few of his Thirupalliezhichis. For example, the first one, Potri Envazh Mudalagiya Porule Pulandadu Poongazhal Kinaithunai Malarkondu. Here he wishes to say that the flowers to be offered to the Almighty has to be chosen on the grounds of what would look most beautiful on the divine shoulders and feet of the Almighty. Later in the same Thirupalliezhichi, he says, Yetruyar Kodiyudayai, Yenayudayai. Here he feels prudent. He feels very proud to be the Lord's chosen devotee. Later on, when he goes inside the temple, he finds some devotees playing various instruments and many chanting Tirumurais, and while some others prostrated and crying out divine chants. He feels completely nothing in front of all of them. And this is evident in the Thirupalliezhichi number 4. என்னையும் ஆண்டு கொண்டு இன்னருள் புரியும் எம்பெருமானே பள்ளி எழுந்தருளாயே. He feels completely powerless and nothing in front of the divine. In Thirupalliezhichi, he compares the human heart to the color of the birds. He says, Kuvina Punguil, Kuvina Kori, Kurugugal Iambina Sangam. Here he says the human heart, when it knows nothing about the divine, it is as dark as the cuckoo bird, and later on it transcends from the color of the hen to the stalk, and finally to the priceless and pure conch. Thiruvempavai is a part of the Thiruvasagam, and it was composed in the temple town of Thiruvannamalai during the month of Margazhi, when the temple town was celebrating the Pavai Nombu. These songs are sung by them during the festival on 10 days preceding the Thiruvadirai Nombu. It is also called as Shaktiyai Viyandadu by Manikavasagar, meaning awestruck by the power of the Lord. It is made of 3 words. The little word Thiruvempavai consists of 3 words: Thiru, which means holy, M, which means R, and Pavai, woman. The common point in all the Thiruvempavais is that the poet speaks in his own voice for himself. Here Manikavasagar envisions himself as the Pavai in all the Thiruvempavais. Thiruvempavai also vividly describes the nature, birds, bees, flowers, etc. Thiruvempavai verses have 8 lines, and each one of them, all the Thiruvempavais, end with the word Empavai. The first 8 Thiruvempavais are Tuyil Ezha Padalgal, which mean they are for the devotees wake up each other for the Pavai Nombu. There is an interesting inscription which apparently clearly states that the Chola king Rajadi Rajadevar, in his 5th year of reign, gave gift of money to people to sing the Thiruvempavai in front of the deity in the Veerathaneshwara temple at Valavur near Mayavaram on the Thiruvadirai. Thiruvasagam was said to be composed in Mullai Pan or Mohanam, so it can be assumed that Thiruvempavai was also set on the same pan as it was a part of Thiruvasagam as well. The traditional way of rendition was to sing all the verses in Mohanam, which has undergone change now. An interesting note on Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi. One can easily infer that Thiruvempavai went to Thailand during Chola era. There are innumerable evidences about Thiruvempavai recitation in Thailand since the 14th century CE. Historical evidences point that the Thirupalliezhichi ritual was observed at Ayutthaya, Sukhothai, and Savankalok in Thailand. It is believed that Shiva came to earth for 10 days during that time, and then his companion Narayana comes and stays here for 5 more days. In the Tamil version, the Thai Thirupalliezhichi has 20 verses, of which the first 11 are called the Pothmurayai and the next 9 are called Pothmurai Cloud. The first 11 are sung before Shiva, and the next 9 before Narayana. We can see the striking similarity between Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi, how it is recited in Thailand. In Thirupalliezhichi, there are only 4 lines in each of the Thiruvempavai, which may have become like this over the period of time. The Thirupalliezhichi is recited as mantras, unlike the Thiruvempavai, which are sung in a pan or raga. Last but not the least, archaeological references. The State Archaeology Department has found inscriptions confirming that Manikavasagar has built the Sanctum Sanctorum and the Kanakasava Mandapam. The temple was built in 3 different periods, with the latest being about 16th century AD in the Nayak period. The other portions were constructed by different kings and rulers of this area, like Pandya kings, Nayaks, Tondaimans of Pudukkottai, Zamindars of Palayavanam, Sethupatis of Ramanathapuram, etc., at different periods of times. Inscriptions found in this Atmanatha Swami temple describe it as Chaturvedi Mangalam, denoting the fact that it was the home of great scholars who were masters of all the 4 Vedas. And with this, I would like to conclude my session with the last Thiruvempavai, the 20th Thiruvempavai. போற்றியருளுகனின் ஆதியம் பாதமலர் போற்றியருளுகனின் அந்தமான் செந்தகைகள் போற்றி எல்லாம் உயிர்க்கும் தோற்றமாம் பொற்பதம் போற்றி எல்லா உயிர்க்கும் போகமாம் பூங்கடல்கள் போற்றி எல்லா உயிர்க்கும் ஈராமிணையடிகள் போற்றியல் நான் முகனுக்கு காணாத புண்டரீகம் போற்றியாம் உய்ய ஆட்கொண்டருளும் பொன்மலர்கள் போற்றிய மார்கழி நீராடலோ எம்பாவாய்.
Thank you so much, Shilpa, for that very crisp but interesting presentation. Brief background also to both the compositions. I now request Dr. Subbalakshmi ma'am to please give her inputs, her comments, and any other further observations that you would like to make on Shilpa's presentation and the topic in general. Thank you.
Good evening. I feel immensely happy to be the expert in the Young Researchers Forum, a platform for research presentations conducted by Nrityodaya, the Academy of Performing Arts and Center of Excellence Art and Culture, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasun, Jain College for Women, Chennai. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Jayashree Rajagopalan and Dr. Rajshri Vasudevan for giving me this opportunity. Shilpa has given the topic very nicely. She has presented everything. I think she is, but I thought she'll be giving explanation for each and everything with the Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi. She was there with the archaeological department, and she was with the. Anyway, it's only 20 minutes, of course, I can understand, but it's really very nice. And today I'm going to speak about this Thirupalliezhichi and Thiruvempavai, some detailed points. Both of these are one of the part of Thiruvasagam, one of the greatest Tamil devotional works by Saint Manikavasagar. Tamil says one who is not moved by Thiruvasagam will not be moved by anything in this world. In Tamil, Thiruvasagathirku oru gathar, oru vasagathirkum oru vaad. Thirupalliezhichi is actually a suprabhadam for the god of Shiva at Thirupperumthurai. It is interesting to note that suprabhadam is completely absent in ancient Sanskrit literature. the concept of waking God was not popular in Bhakti literature earlier to Thirupalliezhichi of Manikavasagar and Tondaradi Podiyalvar. Both of them have sung this Thirupalliezhichi. Of course, the famous quotation from Ramayana where sage Vishwamitra requested Rama to wake up who is sleeping. All of you know very well that it is the Kausalya Supraja Rama asking Rama to do the rituals. This is a famous exhortation of sage Vishwamitra to Lord Rama in Balakantam of Valmiki Ramayana. The first song of Thirupalliezhichi is போற்றி வாழ் முதல் ஆகிய பொருளே போற்றியல் வாழ் முதல் ஆகிய பொருளே என் வாழ் முதல் ஆகிய பொருளே போற்றி. This is one of the best line in Thiruvasakam. He is telling, Manikavasagar says, salutations to Shiva, who is the first meaning of my life. He stresses Lord Shiva is the meaning of our life. And again, he stresses Lord Shiva is first meaning of our life. Nammaloda mudal porul solrar. So morning we have to salute him. This is the first word we have to utter in the morning. He says he is the base for all life. He said he is the soul and he is the heartbeat and he is the soul and he is all. So he says, I salute you. By salute and by praising, we can show our gratitude to God. He is the Val Mudal. Nammaloda Valkayoda Mudal he. Avar illena namma illa. And the meaning this is the best line in Thiruvasakam, I think. ஏற்று நின் திருமுகத்து எமக்கருள் மலரும் எழில் நகை கொண்டு நின் திருவடி தொழுகோம். As a sign of grace, please grant me your smile. I salute and offer flower at your holy feet. He say, I salute you, please grant me your smile. என்ன பார்த்து நீ சிரிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு கேட்கும் போது அப்போ எவ்வளவு நம்மளோட ஹார்ட்ட it brings us down to the கொண்டு வராரு. The second song he speaks about his mercy. கருணையின் சூரியல் எழ எழ நாயன கடிமலர் மலரம நலம் கண்ணாம். He says mercy is drenched in his lotus-like face. He is the form of mercy and he is mercy itself. Let the eyes open like a lotus, open on seeing the sun. When we know very well that a lotus will bloom only when the sun arises. Suryan vandapram the lotus elurum. He also praises Arulnidhi Taravarum Anandamalaye Alaikadale. He says he is the mount of bliss. He is the mount of wealth of grace. And he is the roaring ocean. In the fifth song, he speaks about he is all. Bhudangal thorum nindraye ninallal. He is the Panchabhuta. He is present in all the elements of the world. So he is the Panchabhuta, earth, water, air, fire, and space. He also says Pokilan Varavilan. He says he doesn't go and he doesn't come. Paramataru, Pogamata. Very nice words, and we can have his. This is Thiruvasakam is something like that. And also says Keteriyom unnai kandarivarai. We have not seen those who have seen him. He says he is beyond our thought. The same, the famous composer Gopalakrishna Bharatiyar says, Kandavar, Vindilar, Vindavar, Kandilar. Those who are in the earth has not seen him. And those who have seen him are not in the earth. அப்ப அவங்கள பார்த்தவங்க nobody is there in the earthங்கிறத மாணிக்கவாசகர் saying like that one. In the seventh song, he praises the farm. அவர் எப்படி இருப்பாருன்னு பாருங்களேன். அது பழ சுவையன அமுதன அரிதன எளிதன அமரரும் அறியார். See, his Amara means Devas and God. He says the Devas and God does not know how he'll be. அவங்க எப்படி இருப்பாங்கன்னு தேவாஸ் கூட தெரியல. எப்படி இருந்தாங்க? அது பழம், அது சுவை, அது அமுது, அது அரிதற்கரிது, அது எளிது என அமரரும் அறியார். Just think, he's asking question, is he a fruit? Or is he the taste of the fruit? Or is he the sweetness of the fruit? And is he very difficult to understand? Is he very rare? Is he extremely easy to understand? அப்போ அரிதற்கு அரிது, எளிது, அது பழம், அது சுவை, அது அமுது, என்ன எதுன்னு சொல்றத we are not able to. அந்த பாடல் பாருங்க, அது பழ சுவையன அமுதென அரிதர் அரிதென எளிதென அமரரும் அறியார். அமரர் கூட, காட் கூட அவரால இவர் இப்படிதான்னு கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியல அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. Again, in the 8th song, he praises the nature. அவர் எப்படி முந்திய முதல் நடு இறுதியுமானாய், முதல் நடு இறுதி, that is, he says he is the first of first, he is the center and he is the end. That means the meaning of this lines are, he is the creator, he is the protector, and he is the remover. Creator means he is the first person, and protector, he is protecting in the whole life, நம்மளோட middle period. Again, he is the remover, he is in the end. அப்ப அவரோட நேச்சர் எப்படி சொல்ல முடியல. Again, and he says, when the Holy Trinities, they do not know you, then how can anybody know you? The Vishnu and Brahma were not able to அவரை கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியல. அப்ப அந்த Holy Trinities கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாதப்ப எப்படி என்னால கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியும்? How can anybody else know? He's asking. Now, this is up to Thirupalliezhichi. I am giving explanation. Again, we are going to Thiruvempavai. We'll go to pass on to Thiruvempavai. It consists of 20 stanzas devoted to Shiva. The songs form a part of Pavai ritual, a nombu in the month of Margazhi. Andal in Thirupavai starts as Margazhi Tingal, but Manikavasagar ends as Margazhi Neerada Magindhelor Empavai. The Thiruvempavai praises Lord Shiva in the form of Lord Nataraja in Thillai. First song, Adiyum Andamum Illa Arumperum Jyoti. Jyoti is the flame. He praises Lord as a great flame or light, which is no beginning or end. In the third song, Shiva has been praised as Attan, Amudan, Anandan. Attan is very dear. Amudan, nectar or Amrita. Anandan, ecstasy. So in this way, in this song, he is using one new word. Just see that, Chittam Alagiyar. We know beautiful eyes, beautiful ears, beautiful nose, beautiful brows. Brows means Kunita. Upper Swamigal says, Kunita Purumam, Kovai Chevvayil, Kumil Siripum. That's beautiful lips and beautiful smile. So we have heard of all these beautiful things. Manikavasagar is using beautiful Chittam. Chittam means the mind, Chintan. He's telling the Chittam is always thinking about Lord Shiva is Chittam. Those who are thinking about Lord Shiva, they Chittam Alagiyar. He is using a new word. This is a new one. We know beautiful eyes and beautiful legs, beautiful fingers, everything beautiful. But Chittam is those who are always in the thought of Shiva. They are Chittam Alagiyar. This is a beautiful technical term used by Manikavasagar in this one. And then the fifth song, Malariya Nanmuganum Kanamalai. He's telling Mal is Vishnu, Nanmugan is Brahma. Both Vishnu and Brahma were not able to see his head and feet. Vishnu went as a Varaha pig in search of his feet, and Brahma a swan in search of his head. Both of them were not able to see him. In the 14th song, he danced. The dance of Lord Nataraja is praised. This is a beautiful song. Kadar kurayada paibun kalanada kodai kurallada vandin kuramada kadar kurayada paibun kalanada kodai kurallada vandin kuramada. He says, earring and the golden ornaments danced along with Nataraja, and then flower garlands on the plates and the bees around it also danced. Again, he is telling, Sida Punaladi Chitrambalam Padi Veda Purul Padi Apurulama Padi. He says, bathing in the chill water, singing about Chitambalam or Sirsabai, singing the Lord who is the substance of Vedas, singing the Lord of in all the ways, singing the nature of luminescence or light, singing the power of Lord who is the main source of our life, singing him at the end of matter, end of all matters, singing the glory of the foot of Shakti or Uma Devi, which is his half, is on the left. Later, with this song, later the Tamil Trinities Muthutandavar sang in this format Adikonda Kirtanai. He says, in this Kirtana, he speaks about the others dance along with Nadaraja. ஆரனவமணி மாலைகளாட ஆடும் மரவம் படம் விரிதாட சீரணி கொன்றை மலர்த்துடையாட சிதம்பர தோராட யாரெல்லாம் நடராஜர் கூட சேர்ந்து ஆடினாங்க. சோ மாணிக்கவாசகரோட this காதார் குழையாட is the base. And then also he says in another song, Gangai Madi Aravasaya, Kadil Kundalama Saya, Sengai Maru Tudia Saya, Saiva Chadaya Saya, Pongul Pulia Saya, Porpata Chilamba Saya, Mangai Sivagami Manam Magi. Again, so later period, like this, many composers composed a song about the dance of Nataraja. In the last song, he praises the grace of Lord Shiva. Shilpa sang the same song. He's telling in these lines, there are 8 lines in this Thiruvempavai. All the lines of the song has poetry. Poetry is mentioned. Poetry means praising with gratitude, full surrender, we can say. So first line, Potri Aruluganin Adiyam Padamala. He says, bless us with the foot which did the creation. Adiyam Adi is the beginning of the world. He is the beginner. He is a creator. So bless us with the foot which did the creation. Second one, Potri Aruluganil Andamam Sendalirgal. Andam is end. So bless us with a foot, tender shoots which did destruction. Again in third, Potri Ella Uyirkum Totramam Padam. Totram is origin. Bless us with the golden feet, which is the origin of life. Fourth line, Potri Ella Uyirkum Bogamam Pungalgal. Bless us with the floral ornate feet, which gives the pleasure for all the human being in the world. Fifth line, Potri Ella Uyirkum Iram Inayadigal. He says, Inayadigal, the feet along, the feet with Uma Devi, that is called Inayadi. So parallel feet. Bless us with the parallel feet, which is seen with Uma Devi on his right for the termination of her life. Potri Malnan Muganum Kanada Pundarigam. Bless us with the lotus feet, not seen by Vishnu and Brahma. And then again he's telling, Potri Amuya Adkundarulum Ponmalargal. He says, bless us with the golden feet which embraces us and gives salvation. Potriyam Margari Niradelorem Pavai. Thus, he praises and surrender under the feet of Lord Nataraja. At the end of Manikavasagar, about this is Margali Niradal. This is the Margali ritual in the form of Thiruvempavai, which praises Lord Shiva, we can say. Again, this is a very, very interesting thing about Lord Nataraja. Here, I want to tell you an interesting thing about Lord Nataraja. It is a Nataraja statue which is seen at the most advanced scientific research center lab for nautical physics at CERN, CERN. CERN is European Organization for Nuclear Research, located at Geneva, Switzerland. We may think, what is Nataraja statue doing here? It has a profound meaning in cosmos. U means Earth, planets, stars, galaxies, intergalactic spaces, and other contents in the universe are made up of matters. And this matters has energy. And actually, the matter is fundamentally made up of atoms. These atoms are made up of particles. This study of fundamental structure of these particles and to understand the nature of the matter and the law of nature, scientists extends, design, and conduct advanced high energy physics experiment with the most complex scientific instruments at Geneva, Switzerland. And modern physics, quantum field theory has shown that the rhythm of creation and destruction is the base for existence of the matter. So creation and destruction is Shiva's work. And every subatomic particles not just performs an energy dance, but it is an energy dance itself with pulsating creation and destruction process. For some, the dance of Nataraja is a dance of such atomic matter and the basis of all existence and natural phenomena. The evils undergo infinite number of death and rebirth as the cycle of creation and destruction repeats. And our life, the world, the planet, the solar system, the universe itself, most created, involves such energy dance and eventually it's going to be extinguished. Shiva Nataraja is a reminder of many forms of the world. So he is called Uri Mudalvan and he is a reminder and he is going to start for the creation also. We are just living in one world. Shiva Nataraja has a unique symbolism as it merges cosmic dance of creation, preservation, and destruction is hidden and profound understanding of the universe. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I love to speak about Nataraja. Really, it's a very wonderful. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And there was so much of passion that we could see in the way you were giving all the details about the compositions. And I think it's really a good fortune that we could have both of you give us a glimpse into the two compositions. Since we are fairly late today, there are just 2 or 3 questions that the COE ANC interns have sent to me because we are not able to go on FB Live as yet. So they have sent about 2 or 3 questions. So I'll just ask them now before we conclude the session. One question is for Shilpa, and a student wants to know as to is there any reason why this particular topic was of interest to you? And is it a topic that you're working on for your doctorate, for your research? So she has asked this question to you. After that, I'll ask the question to ma'am. There's another question for ma'am.
Actually, I was given an opportunity to learn all the Thiruvempavais and the Thirupalliezhichi. Of course, I did not have any knowledge to be able, as a singer, I only learned the words, I should be pronouncing it properly and singing them properly according to the melody. But it never occurred to me to know the in-depth meaning. Now I'm getting to know more about it from Subbalakshmi ma'am. And also my mother used to advise me on the meanings of Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi. So when Subbalakshmi ma'am and yourself, Rajshri ma'am, came to me with this topic, I immediately wanted to do. It was not that I was confident about it or I knew anything tangible in it, but I wanted to know more, at least on this topic, since I had a slight musical idea of what it is. So that is the only reason. And no, I'm not doing on this topic, but I would love to do more, a few more papers on this.
There is one question as to whether this both these compositions were inspired basically by Andal's Thirupavai and by her rendition for the Pavai Nombu, particularly during the Margazhi season. So they want to know because Andal has come chronologically much earlier than Manikavasagar. So the question is whether he was inspired by this and he felt that he could do the similar kind of composition with reference to his own Ishtadevata, that is Shiva. So, ma'am, whether you could answer that question.
We are not very sure about the age of Manikavasagar. So we can't tell that this is before Andal or after Andal, but both of them are in the same line. He's a male. He loved Shiva very well and he has done this thing. She herself is a female, so she can give the meaning very powerfully than Manikavasagar. She's a lady, so she can express everything. Manikavasagar has to be, he's a male. So, but he himself makes us as a girl and he's asking every girls to come there to do the everything. But I think they are, I don't think these I don't know about the age of Manikavasagar, but both of them are in the same line. It is about Perumal and this is about Shiva. Both are in the same line, I think like that.
Sorry to interrupt. I had heard in a religious discourse that both Manikavasagar and Andal may have had great respect for each other, because Manikavasagar's first Thiruvempavai starts with Adiyum Andamum, which is Andal. And then Andal's first Thirupavai starts with Margali Tingal Ma, which is Manikavasagar. So they may have had real great respect for each other's works and for each other. I do not know how true this may be, but this was very interesting when I heard. I thought I could share.
Yeah, we can say like that, but the thing, we don't know the age of these two people. So they are on their line. She has sang Vishnu and he has sang Shiva. That's the thing, I think.
One more question, ma'am. They say that in both the Thirupavai as also these compositions, Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi, there is an observation that it is done a nombu also for invoking rain. So does it signify that these compositions have that kind of power to bring about rain or to help a parched piece of land? Did it have that kind of potency? Because now we sing it only as compositions, yes. But do they really have that kind of potency? Like, for example, we believe that Amrita Varshini brings rain. So one student asked a very general doubt.
Yeah, here is in fourth song of Thirupavai, Adi Malai Kanna, it's about Malai. And then in the 15th song, Munni Kadalai Surukki Ezhundudaya, it's a very clear definition of how the rain coming. He says, Munni Kadalai Surukki Kadal, and the waves went on the top and Ezhundudayan, Enna Tigandamai, Aludayaliti, Minni Polindu. So he's giving how the rain is starting to do that thing. Here both in Thirupavai and Thiruvempavai is speaking about rain. And I don't know whether if we are singing that song, we will get rain, I don't know. But it's about rain. Maybe it's singing both two songs are singing about, is helping the whole community. It's sung for the community, not for a single person. So for community means the rain is a very important one. That's why they have sung about rain, about sun, about everything. This is for community. So this is needed. This is the only thing we needed in the world. Without rain, we can't do anything. So this is one of the best, and one. It is in the form of for Anda. It is in the form of Vishnu. For Shiva, Manikavasagar, it is in the form of Shiva. That's the thing, Alevan. Okay, it's for community-based songs. These are all.
There's just one final question, and that is, was there any reason for a set of Thiruvempavai to be followed by a set of Thirupalliezhichi? Both of them to be sung together as a kind of a set. Was there any reason, or it could have been like Thirupavai, all 30 days, one song each day? No. So is there any reason for this combination?
No, this combinations, we don't have 30 songs in Thiruvempavai. That's why we are singing Thirupalliezhichi and Thiruvempavai. But actually, Thirupalliezhichi should be sung first. For that, we are going to wake the god. After waking him, we can sing the Thiruvempavai. That is the procedure. That is good. But because we are not having 30 songs, they have made it like that, Thiruvempavai and Thirupalliezhichi. It's not like that. We have to sing the Thirupalliezhichi first. Not only in Margari Masam, we have to sing in the whole, every day we have to sing I like that. So every day we have to make the God wake up. It's not waking, he is not sleeping there. We are asking to come inside, open his mind, open his eyes to in our mind. We are asking him to come inside. This is the Palliyelichi. Is asking them to asking him. Anybody, maybe Vishnu or Shiva, we are asking him to come inside. That is the Palliyelichi is needed. So we have to sing first Palliyelichi, then Thiruvempavai. As there is only 20 songs, we are using this 10 along with the 10. So we are singing at the back. This is not a proper way of singing. First, you have to sing the Thirupalliezhichi, then Thiruvempavai will be good.
Is there any rule, ma'am, that it has to be sung in a particular ragam? Like she was mentioning Mohanam.
No. It is not. It was not at all mentioned there in Thiruvempavai. We have to sing like that. But they are all singing in Bhupalam because of it was sung in the early morning. So everybody is singing in Bhupalam or Bhauli. That is the thing, not in Mogana. I can tell you that it's not at all singing in Mogana. But we are singing in morning ragas, we can tell. Morning ragas, because it was sung only in the morning, only in dawn.
I think we've come to the end of the session. Of course, it would have been very good if we could have had Dr. Jayashree here and she could also given some inputs. But since we have come towards the end, I will propose a very formal vote of thanks to both of you. So at the outset, of course, I would like to thank Dr. Subbalakshmi Mohan for immediately accepting the invitation to be here and to give a very passionate explanation of both the compositions with, of course, melodious music also in between. So I would like to thank you, ma'am, for accepting this and for being the expert today. I know you have a very busy schedule, being the head of a department and guiding so many students. So gratitude for that. And when I speak now, I speak on behalf of both our institutions, both the organizations, whether it is Nrityodaya Academy of Performing Arts or Center of Excellence Art and Culture. And I also want to thank Mumbai Shilpa. It was a very brief, very sweet presentation. It covered very quickly all the aspects with PPT, and I think your expert also today has appreciated your presentation. So we wish you all the best for all your future research work as also for your concerts. So thank you so much for your presence today. And I'll be failing in my duty if I do not thank our Guru, Dr. Padma Subramaniam, Padma Bhushan Awardee, for the kind of unstinted support and encouragement that she has been giving us. And we know that when we start something with her blessings, it will go well.
Oh.
That is what we have faced till today's 9th session. And we hope to continue these sessions hereafter, at least throughout the year. So of course, we make an open offer to all these young researchers who would want to make the presentations, and any experts who would like to be part of our sessions, they are most welcome. I would also like to thank the Secretary of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shaswan Jain College, Sri Abhay Sri Shimal Jain ji, our Associate Secretary Sri Ashok Kumar Mehta, and our Principal Dr. S. Padmavati, because ever since we mooted this idea, they have given the go-ahead and they have been standing behind us with all the support. So I would like to thank them. Nrityodaya Academy of Performing Arts would also like to particularly thank Mahindra Finance and Mr. Ramesh, who the moment this session was going to be inaugurated, they came forward and said that they are with them in this venture. So it gives us a lot of pleasure to end the session on a very happy note. Also wishing everybody present here a happy Pongal. Will be there next week, which I hope brings very good tidings for all of us, because we have faced so much in the last year, that it can only become better from where we are now. And I'm also happy to announce that our next session, which will be 15 days from now, again on a Friday at 7 o'clock, we'll have a young researcher, Ms. Suchitra, and the expert for that day will be a well-known musician, Sriram Parshuramji. So we hope all of you will be able to tune in again on that day and be with us. So thank you so much once again on behalf of Academy of Performing Arts and Center of Excellence Art and Culture, Shasun Jain College, for gracing the occasion and for making this wonderful presentation. Thank you so much and good night. Shubharatri.